The project that we're going to start is trying to give a voice and give a recognition to some women who maybe in the past haven't been quite as significantly noticed. So the reason why I want to look at these women is not only to give them a voice, but the ladies who are going to be in the project, they're just ordinary ladies who are interested in history, but they're also women who maybe have got opinions and ideas, but they don't often get asked their opinion. So the idea is to use history and heritage and the Coates family and Mrs. Barbour, who we haven't even kind of started talking about, and Mrs. Jane Arthur, to kind of provoke women today into discussing things like education, social welfare, children's welfare. I want these ladies to have the chance to actually talk and discuss in a very relaxed way about things that they're interested in, that they might not even have thought of, but to give them a voice, but using heritage to actually do that.
Lil told me a bit about the project and invited me along here today, and I was really excited about it actually. I think it's great. I know that they're investigating some of the women in Paisley's history. I think some of the Coates women, and they're looking at Jane Arthur as well. Paisley's got loads and loads of really interesting history there, but a lot of it, and you know, when you look in the heritage centres and you look in the statues in the streets and everything, it's really all focused on men, and there's some amazing women in Paisley's history as well, so I think it's really good that the group are doing this.
Well, we did a group exercise, a scenario exercise of imagine that you are a middle class lady of the 1870s, and different roles you would have within the household, or who would look after your children, would you have servants, all this sort of thing, just to get an idea of where we thought the Victorian lady was in society. The scenario is you're a well-to-do married lady, right? And you're living in the mid-19th century, so you're living around about 1860s, 1870s, beginning of the period we're looking at. Imagine what your life would be like. Just a little bit of fun. I'll leave you to it. I'll leave you for a few minutes. Sculling me.
Yeah. Aye, because what would they do with the rest of the day once they've lit the fires?
This afternoon, I looked at the school board election and the different people who voted in the school board election and where Jane Arthur came within that, and the group had to guess who won the election, who came first, who came second, who came third, right up to 9. Thomas Coates, right? So Thomas Coates, bearing in mind a very powerful person in the community, he got 3,542 votes from these householders, right? And I will also put up how many votes that Jane Arthur got. She's the not so weak vessel, so she's not a weak vessel at all.
This week it was Jane Arthur getting the highest votes in the election for the school.
Being that she was a woman, you would have expected her to be really down the list quite a bit, but instead she was up at the top.
We're going to have a sensory quiz where we're going to try out various different temperance drinks, which are all soft drinks today.
We were looking at various artefacts today from the women's suffrage movement and also the anti-suffrage movement. We had some really nice postcards depicting women in very stereotypical ways as kind of weak characters. And we also had some objects like the little pin badges that women would wear on their lapels to show their support for the suffrage movement as well. I think they reacted really well, especially the silk scarf that I brought out that had the votes for women on it, and it had the green and purple colours on it. They really enjoyed that, just to see just how light it was, and also it also showed kind of femininity as well.
We're here this morning to see Mary Barbour's statue. We've had a kind of session of, almost like a handling session really, for the statue. And the ladies who have got visual impairments have really enjoyed it because they've been able to take their time going around the statue, feeling the different parts, feeling our shoes and the detail and all that sort of thing.
The National Library of Scotland is Scotland's largest reference library, so a lot of the things that the group are interested in, in terms of the legacy of the rent strikes and housing problems and developments that happened after the First World War and then into the Second World War, we have material that's very relevant to that period. So today the group have been looking at films about the rent strikes in Glasgow that took place in 1915. I think the group were really intrigued by the footage actually. I think particularly seeing some of the still images and the newspaper articles that were included in the women's co-op film. I think that really gave them a sense of what was going on then.
I think that Lil's put a lot of work into this to prepare it for us and to let us learn about all these inspirational women. They're absolutely fantastic. Women in the home, as we know, is always hard working, but they went out of their way to help other people.
They had plenty of money. They could have just sat back and said, well, it's not our problem, but they went out and done something about it.
So in that 60-year period, from the 1860s to about 1930, big changes for women. But locally, there was lots of women not just sitting there going, we're just not doing anything. There was lots of people doing lots of things. And that is our ladies A, B and C. They all did things.
People attending this Disability Resource Centre are now getting to know more about the area that they live in that they otherwise may not have had. And I think it also gives them a purpose, gives them something to do, it gets them out and about with other members of the community, so it's very, very important. Take that knowledge and use it, teach it to your nieces, your nephews, your daughters, your sons and your grandchildren.
The project has been absolutely fantastic. I've loved every single minute of it, from start to finish, and the stuff that Lil's brought out for us all to see and the things that we've learned from people, from women in history that we had no clue about. It's just been absolutely amazing, brilliant project. There's got to be a legacy at the end of this, and it's for young girls just now who are growing up. They're going to be women, and just keep championing being a woman and just keep fighting your cause and doing what you're doing. Stick in at school and use your vote.